Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey. One thing I forgot to mention last week is due to my wife assisting me when I basically wanted to throw things through the window, my wife helped me figure out how to get Nerds Drink Whiskey back on iTunes. So we are now on iTunes again. You can go if you want to, it's just the audio version. But you can now go to our actual website, nerdsdrinkwhiskey.com, or just download it automatically through your iTunes browser. We're going to get it on the other platforms as well as soon as we can. And yeah, people can listen to just another way to soak in the content.
All right.
But last week we started sipping on our Jim Beam bottled in bond, and I don't know. Anybody ready to give their review?
Well, if you guys want to drink on it a little bit, I might want to say what Bottle and Bond is, so all our listeners kind of know what
that would be perfect.
While I sip through it, go for it.
So the Bottle and Bond is an artifact from a law that was passed back in 1897, and it's the only real federal regulation. I wouldn't say quality regulation, but it in order to get Bottle and Bond, you have to meet some certain standards that the feds put out. You have to be, all the whiskey has to be made during what's called a season, which is either from January to June or July through December. So you can't take whiskeys that have been made in, one from this year and one from that year and stick them together.
No blended whiskeys.
Right.
Same batch.
And so it's essentially, same batch, same, harvest season, so all the grain is from the same season, all that kind of stuff. You then it has to be at the same distillery, and so the same physical location. So, say you've got, Jim Beam and it has multiple places that they make it, this one has to be made in the same distillery, even though if it's the same name on the different distillers. And then it has to sit in a government bonded warehouse for at least 4 years, and then it's bottled at 100 proof. And that'll get you the bottled in bond label, which some people say is archaic and doesn't mean anything, but it's one of the few actual federal standards we have for a product. So there are some distillers that are using that to say, hey, we make this quality thing.
And I think it's when it originally started, Bottled in Bond was a statement of quality because there was a lot of things people were doing with their whiskey that were kind of unmentionable. There was some pretty nasty, horrible, scary stuff that they were doing with whiskey. So a lot of your bigger distillers kind of said, hey, could we do something to kind of have that
right. This was to fight the moonshine and rot gut out there.
To basically keep it from you being blind?
People were putting actual turpentine in it. People were putting chewing tobacco in it. People were doing all kinds of horrible, disgusting things to it. So that was a way to separate the quality whiskey from the who knows what whiskey back 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago.
Yeah, 120 years ago.
And so now, but a lot of people are saying that this is becoming a trend again, mainly because it's kind of a backlash to the big push of a couple years ago for no age statement whiskeys, or NAS. This is because you have to have it. Is it how many? 2 years? 4 years?
4 years.
It is 4.
Yeah, 4 years in the at least 4 years in that government warehouse. The other thing is it can't be a blend. It has to all come from the same distiller.
And 4 years is more than either Scotch or bourbon, correct?
Correct. Yeah. The minimum requirement, yes.
Right. So, yeah. So I don't know. What's everybody think of the Jim Beam? I got to say, I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah.
The 100 proof is strong, but if you're going to drink Jim Beam, man, this is a Jim Beam to try. So I don't know. You've finished yours, so I think you should go next.
To be perfectly honest with you, before we did this review, I actually had a bottle of this in September. And when I got a hold of this, I was blown away by it because I've had Jim Beam, I've had Jim Beam Black Label, I've even had Jim Beam Devil's Cut, which is 90 proof, and that's actually pretty good. But this bottled in bond for the 100 proof that it is, has a wonderful amount of flavor. Nice and smoky to it. It's not overbearing, and it's not ungodly in flavor for a Jim Beam product either. I would drink this again, and for the price point, you know, I wasn't paying an arm and a leg for it either.
What is the price point on this?
The price for this, as far as I was able to find, seems to be about 30 bucks.
Yeah, about $30 a bottle.
A little under 30, which is, that's really good. But people can always come to Doggers in Yelm, and Doggers in Yelm does have it. So
for $6 a shot.
Is it $6 a shot?
Yep, $6 a shot.
So you know, $6.
That's a good deal, guys. That's a damn good deal.
And his shots are very, very welcoming.
Yeah,
they'll keep you nice and warm during the winter.
What's your thoughts, Jeff?
I was saying you can definitely tell it's 100 proof. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just don't know that it's my favorite. It's more of the ash kind of flavor to it, which is not the profile that I usually like as much. So yeah, it's flavorful. I personally don't prefer this flavor profile, but if that's your deal, then yeah, this is great.
Cool. Ed?
This isn't too bad, especially for its proof. Kind of swish it around, it gives you a nice numbness around your gums and that nice warm, happy feeling. There's nothing I dislike about it. Not a real depth of flavor, but it's good, especially for the price. The content. Yeah.
I'd say this is probably the highest quality $30 whiskey we have had on the show in a very long time. Like you said, I mean, the taste, the initial taste when you first put it on your tongue, it is very good. It does have some sweetness to it. The mouthfeel is pleasant, and the finish is pretty much a really good finish for 100 proof.
Yeah, especially for its proof.
But like you guys say, the taste, it's good, it's sweet, but it just doesn't have a lot of depth to it. There's nothing really, I think I feel a hint of this or whatever.
Yeah, it still feels like a Jim Beam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this is a high-end Jim Beam. This is a good quality Jim Beam. This is not the bottom shelf Jim Beam. And that, like any major, you know, the whiskey distillers you can call off the top of your head, you know, all of them have like their regular stuff they sell to as drunk juice, and then they have their higher end stuff, which is really good to try out, because I think it's kind of surprising when you try all those whiskeys, you try their higher end shelf, and you're kind of surprised, whoa, they do have something halfway decent. And it's usually not for that much more.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I wouldn't even mix this one. This one is great as it is.
Yeah, this is definitely one you drink neat or straight. Yeah, so I would say for the price of $30, this is highly recommended. For the price of $6 a shot at Doggers in Yelm, definitely worth it. Please come to Doggers or wherever you try it. Give this a try and let us know in the comments what you think. And you know, let us know what's your favorite bottled in bond. Let us know that in the comments as well. And we will, I don't know, anybody got any closing comments before we say goodbye?
I don't think so, yeah. Try some of this, really. It's worth a try, certainly.
Cool. And December 8th is our Christmas party at Doggers. So December 8th, come by, and we're going to be doing a theme night. The whiskeys will be, like, we're going to try and get a hold of, like, the Game of Thrones whiskey, you know, the different whiskeys like that.
Winter is coming.
Yes, winter is coming. That's it's the what are they called? What are those guys, the guys called? The
White Walkers?
The White Walkers, yeah. It's basically a White Walker whiskey. And
White Walker Russian?
Something, yeah. And so...
seen Game of Thrones?
But anyways, let us know which whiskeys you'd like to try at our Christmas party. But we have shirts that are arriving the Tuesday after we film this. We hope to have them here, but there will be free t-shirts for everybody at our Christmas party. So you can get our lowball glasses, you can get our shot glasses, and you can get t-shirts. So we'll have all t-shirt sizes. And December 8th, the Nerds Drink Whiskey Christmas party. But I think next week, I think we're going to discuss a lot of really interesting Star Wars news has been happening. So anyways, see you next week on Nerds Drink Whiskey.
Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing, guys.